Old friends, winter companions, the old men.
1089 and 1053 AM. The warm-up with Mike Parry and Alan Brazil on talkSPORT.
Good morning, 5 minutes past 11 o'clock. What? I'm normally on my way home now, Porky. 11, Saturday morning, it's Brazil and Parry for a couple of hours in the warm-up. Mike, how the devil are you?
Very well indeed, Al. Good to see you here and looking so bright and so, cold like a spring, ready to go for it.
I didn't know what listen, I've been up since 4:30 and I thought, what am I going to do today?
Yeah, well, up since 4:30? Do you mean, sorry, were you sort of arriving
Not
home
coming
at 4:30?
in, no. I was out with the family last night.
Oh, right,
Canary
okay.
Wharf. I went down the boat show.
Oh,
very nice.
Okay,
indeed.
where was that,
Wow.
the Excel?
Yes.
Yeah, right, okay.
By City Airport.
Okay.
Fantastic.
You see anything you fancy?
I did.
Really?
Yes, I did. But
Gonna launch it
way
on-
out of my bracket, Porky.
Well, I tell you what, mate, if you need a berthing place, you can always have mine in Orwell Quay if you want to put your boat there,
By the way, and the guy, it was Sunseeker,
Yes.
who used to be part of our company a long time ago, believe it or not.
Did they? Yeah.
Oh, yes, they were big shareholders. I don't know if they are now, but they looked after me fantastic, honestly.
Well, right opposite my place in Ipswich, one of the workshops is there, on the other side of Orwell Quay.
That is Fairline, I think.
Fairline, that's right. Yeah, that's
so
right.
When was the last time you were there? They're probably gone now. That was about 2 years ago.
No. I keep an eye on things. Don't worry about that. Got to keep an eye on your portfolio.
You've got about 8 in there, haven't you? A little one-bedroom flat.
Well,
You're right now, 8 people.
Listen, Al, we're broadcasting now. We're not talking about investments. But listen, what a great day. Now, what I was going to say was, we finish at 1, and then, of course, you'll be shooting off, but I will be heading to Wembley.
Oh, yeah.
Because, of course, as far as I'm concerned today, the whole focal point of the day is the 5:30 kick-off at Wembley. Everton going there to try and make an impression upon Spurs. And Spurs, the mighty Spurs, whatever you want to call them, they've had a bit of a stumbling season, haven't they? Because they're really in no man's land at the moment.
Well, I think I said on Friday...
Yeah.
That 3-1 victory, I think it was 3-1, wasn't it, over Real Madrid, seemed a long time ago
And
now.
do you know what, Al, a psychologist that I read about sometime after...
No, that you go to twice a month, yes?
No, that's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Did you say psychiatrist or
No,
psychologist?
a sports psychologist who I was reading about in one of my medical journals said that when you hit a high like that... Sorry?
Medical journal. Please, what's it called?
Playboy? It's called The Lancet. It's called The Lancet, Al. It's called The Lancet.
Yeah, go on.
Al, you're not keeping up. I have all sorts of journals which I've delivered to me to keep myself and my knowledge abreast of all sorts of areas of life.
Like
okay?
Stop smoking, stop drinking wine.
Stop smoking. Well, I'm going to tell you something about champagne a bit later on. I don't drink champagne, of course, because the bubbles would destroy what's left of my heart. Only 1/3 of it works. However, the sports psychologist that I was reading about said when you hit a huge high like that, your natural instinct as a human being is to say, I need a reward for this now, I can relax. And you're absolutely right. Since the 3-1 victory over Real Madrid, Spurs' form has spiralled. I hope it spirals a bit further today. So I'm looking for Everton and Sam Allardyce in the throes of trying to acquire the services of Theo Walcott to try and bring something to the party today.
Can you? It's going to be difficult. Look,
of course it is.
Sam, it was no surprise to any of us that Sam went in there and changed things around and got results.
Yes.
But of late, Mike, it's just gone a bit flat.
With Spurs, you mean?
No.
I'm sorry, with Everton. You're absolutely right, because we had a great burst of 5 or 6 games, and then, I'm afraid, going to Anfield and getting pitched out the FA Cup there is not a good thing, but it does leave our season clear now to just reconstruct everything in time for next season. There's always next season, isn't it, as long as you're still in the Premiership, and we're still in the Premiership.
Yeah.
That's why Sam came to Everton, to make sure we were very much in the Premiership next season. So that plan has worked.
Yes, so I take it you're going to sit with the normal punters today?
Well, the thing is, I have a colleague, a friend, a pal,
Mike Graham's not here.
Well, he's actually a city lawyer, and so he seeks advice off me sometimes.
Who's suing you?
No that I know of, but I mean, you never know with these things. And I've decided to accept his very kind hospitality to sit alongside him, and we might have a bit of lunch in the Bobby Moore Lounge to start off with.
Oh,
which
so
I know
you're hobnobbing it again?
No, I'm not hobnobbing. No, I don't hobnob.
hobnobbing.
I don't hobnob. I tell you what, it's a long time since you and I went to Wembley together. Last time we went to Wembley there, I think you tried to stitch me up with Steve Redgrave. You told Steve Redgrave to beat me up.
Why?
Well, because I'd said that, anybody could win a gold medal if they sat in a boat on the River Thames for 10 years and rowed up and down.
Correct.
I said it's just a matter of developing your muscle strength and
Steve looked at me and said, Porky would need extended oars.
He did, actually, yeah.
You've seen the size of his arms.
I know, yeah. I think
Length
he said
of
I'd
them.
need extended hands, never mind oars. But listen, I think that will be a great game today. But, of course, as we get into the show...
You're going to get stuffed. With a great suspect.
Well, I don't think we will.
Yes.
I can't
I heard you whinging earlier about Daniel Levy as well.
Well, let me tell you what I think is the situation there, right? So, Mr. Levy, with the hard hat on, at the site of the new Spurs Stadium... Which
with
is
the Mayor of London, thank you. It took me 40 minutes to get in from Canary today.
I know. You sometimes wonder whether mayors should concentrate on perhaps getting the city right, rather than jumping on all sorts of bandwagons, about football grounds, whether the United States president should be coming to London and Britain and all that kind of stuff, I would like the Mayor of London to look after London. Not really his issue if Trump comes here or not. But anyway, that's quite a different subject, which we're not talking about. We don't talk politics on this show. No, what I was going to say is...
You've got a recorder running there in your top pocket.
No, of course I haven't. It's my phone. It's my new phone.
I thought you were recording something.
It's my new phone. And when I got it last week, right, that I went into...
That's an iPad. That's not a phone.
No, it's not. It's
your eyes going as well.
No, it's a Samsung. And what happened was, you won't believe this, I went into the place to get it done, and they said, oh, right, OK, so what we'll do is switch everything from your old phone to your new phone, both Samsungs, and they didn't take the SIM card out of the old phone. They said,
no, that's your duty.
No, they said you don't need that anymore, and they just put a new one in here. Now, in the old days, the SIM card was in the back of the phone, wasn't it?
No, you're getting mixed up here. No one is ringing you because you have no mates, and the ones you have, you've upset.
That's very harsh.
There's nothing wrong with the SIM card.
No, listen, let me tell you, they don't put the SIM card in the back anymore. What they do is they stick it in a groove in the top. So this guy sticks it in the groove in the top, right?
In the back? How long ago was that you put them in the back? Mine goes in the top.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. Now, what happens is then, so the next day, I hear a phone ringing in my apartment, but it's not this phone. It's the old phone. So I thought, that's a bit odd. So I go back to see them, and I said, listen, something's gone wrong here. You haven't switched all this over, because my old phone is ringing. He said, don't worry, sir. Just give it 24 hours. He said, it takes 48 hours.
Yeah.
Well, after 96 hours, the old phone was still ringing. So they hadn't got it right. So I then had to go to another branch of the same phone retailer, the ones who used to have the warehouse and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Mr. Dunson's.
Yes, Lord Dunston,
I think Simon was involved as well, but of course, probably Simon, after you said about him at Crystal Palace, he's probably told the guy in the shop to mess your phone up.
That's very harsh, and I am in fact working with Simon tomorrow night.
What?
We're doing a show together, yeah.
Well, don't mention his car. Do not mention the car.
Well, I mean, that is a bit dodgy, isn't it? A bit of damage to his car amounting to quite
That's
a few
the
£1,000.
second time poor Simon's had a problem.
I know, it's... anyway...
In our car park.
That's right. When I go and see the guys again, they said to me, well, why haven't they switched over the SIM card? I said, well, I'm not a phone engineer. You lot are. And you said it didn't need one. Anyway, switched it over, and now... But, it's complicated, these things. Somebody said... Here, how about this? Do you know how to get to football matches these days? What happens is...
Yeah, you get on the Jubilee line to Wembley.
No, do you know how you get in the ground?
No.
They send you now a...
e-ticket.
That's it. You're absolutely right. They send you a text, right? And they say, within this text, we have included your e-ticket, right? Now, if you can't understand your phone and you don't know how to print out your e-ticket or even find it, you're in trouble. And I had a bit of a problem with this all day yesterday. I could not find the attachment with the e-ticket. I've now got it, fortunately, because I managed to work it out. But, I mean, why does everybody have to make life so complicated all of a sudden? Why couldn't they just send me a ticket? Why couldn't they just give me a bit of plastic?
It's progress.
My season ticket at Goodison, there's a bit of plastic. That's all you need. Flash the plastic, you get in, and there you
No,
are.
it's progress. By the way, there's a couple of guys in the car park, so I went the window there. I said, excuse me. I said, what are you doing? By all accounts, there's a bit of a... Well, I've got to be careful here, because I think insurance are involved.
Yes.
The people who inserted the poles on the ground to stop people going in the spaces, by all accounts, are suing Mike Graham. because Mike Graham's car has damaged one of the poles.
No, you're having me on, aren't you?
I'm not having you on.
No, you are.
He shouldn't have drove over it. So
Well, of course, you have to drive over it to get to our spaces.
The pole's worth more than Mike Graham's car.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so they're suing Mike Graham.
Well, you see, this is outrageous because, as far as I know, Mr. Graham is suing them for damage to his car. You know what happened? The pole flicked up and went straight through his fuel supply line.
But why did it flick up? Because he shouldn't have driven over it.
Well, it wasn't fixed properly to the ground, and you have to drive over that.
Are you sure? Hold on. Listen, are you an engineer? Are you sure?
Let me just tell you this. The bit of the car park that belongs to our neighbours is at the front.
Good as gold, by the way.
Is at the front of the area of land I'm talking about, and ours is at the back. So you have to drive over the front land to get to the back land, and the front land is now littered.
But by all accounts, that pole is worth £1,400, and it's worth more than the car that damaged it.
Well, actually, the car he's got at the moment isn't too bad. He thinks it's one of the world's best cars. He keeps going on his car of the year and all that. In fact, it's just a Chelsea tractor. It's just a 4x4, which doesn't really work. Getting back to Mr. Levy, he said during the week, don't worry, not selling any players next summer. I think he's held himself to ransom there.
Well, what he should have said is, we do not absolutely want to sell our best players. We're not a selling club.
Yeah, but he said we're not. And as you say, standing there with Sadiq Khan. And when you get pictures of chairmen in hard hats in the shell of a new stadium, I always get the feeling that they're trying to sort of find out how they're going to pay for this stadium. I mean, the cost of it has already doubled from 400 to 800 million, and it could be going up even further. And you know, the amazing thing is, for that money, the stadium is only going to be a 61,000 capacity. Now, Wembley, of course, is 90,000, and they're filling most of that, aren't they? Most times they go there, I think. So I wonder whether have they underestimated the number of people they can accommodate?
I don't know. You have to ask Mr. Levy.
Yeah.
But I do know the outside looks fantastic, but what takes the time, Mike, is the infrastructure inside the stadium to get it ready.
Yes, I can accept that.
It will be fantastic when it's done. Whether they keep Harry, probably. Whether they keep Delhi,
I don't think they
know.
can. I just don't think they can, because Harry Kane is emerging as one of the world's best footballers.
Well, a quick one before we break, because Real Madrid they have their eggs in one basket in the Champions League.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And Tottenham did stuff them. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Barcelona run away with everything, and Real Madrid play PSG. If they get beat, they will have a massive... They're going to wipe that blackboard clean.
Yes.
And it'll probably be a new manager, and they'll have to spend £200 million.
Yes.
It could be Hazard, it could be Courtois, or it could be Ali, it could be Kane.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be. I don't think he can stay there for two reasons. Firstly, the amount of money somebody will offer him a week to play elsewhere. Yeah. But secondly, his sheer ambition. I know everybody says he's a lovely lad, he's a North London boy, came up through the ranks, and he went out on loan to loads of clubs and all that. That's all very well.
The first time he touched on something the other day, he said, we want to win
Exactly,
things.
We need to win things. He said we need to win things. And once a player realises that he's got the taste
but that will start
for winning...
That will start today, of course. 17 after 11.
That's very harsh.
Important announcement.
Talk Sport.
It's an unstoppable strike. So do the smart thing.
Give us a goal. Talk Sport.
Okay, 10 minutes to 1 o'clock. Let's head down to Cardiff. I keep looking at my screen. It looks to be Sunderland in possession a lot. Lawrence Moore is down there for talkSPORT. Lawrence, what sort of game is it, pal?
Well, it's Cardiff 0, Sunderland 0, 20 minutes on the clock here, and after the home team dominated the early stages, it's Sunderland really that have been holding their own. Cardiff had the best chance in the game, though, just a few moments ago. Rules broke from midfield, but they could only fire straight at Router in the Sunderland goal after Mendes Langer pulled the ball back. We've seen Honeyman from Sunderland fire over the bar from the edge of the area, but other than that, it's been a bit messy and congested. Both teams matching up 3-4-3, and it's not making a great spectacle. The game, though, is live on talkSPORT 2, and after 20 minutes it's Cardiff 0, Sunderland 0.
Thank you, Lawrence. Right, and we're talking transfers next.
Transfer window update on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Transfer to Toolstation for no out-of-stock shocks. Check availability online at toolstation.com. We've got what you need when you need it.
Let's take a wee look at some of the latest transfer news.
Well, I'll tell you what,
with Toolstation.
Yeah, I tell you what is interesting. We just talked about Alan Pardew and West Brom and all that. I can't get my head around this Johnny Evans speculation. I mean,
in what way?
Well, there's
some big boys are after Johnny.
Exactly, but in the sense that, you know, a major club, Manchester United, decided his usefulness right at the top of the Premier League had expired, and now they all changed their mind, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because he's now being chased by City. I mean, even United have apparently shown some interest in taking him back. I mean, that's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. People tell he's a great lad, you know, and he's worked hard, so we wish him well. Also, Big Sam, Everton confirms Theo.
Yes,
Talks
that's right.
underway.
Yes.
You know Theo, don't you? You know his dad?
Well,
I've
known his dad for years, and one of the great things about Theo is he comes from a great family, and he has great family support, and,
Is that what Everton need, though? Someone
his
with
parents
pace?
have always been there for him.
Is he going to play through the middle, or is he going to be wide? Where's he going to play?
Well, what I have to say in this situation is that when you saw Sam Allardyce talking about it yesterday, you could tell that Sam Allardyce very much wants Theo Walcott to go to Everton. And, of course, Theo's a Southern boy, came from Southampton. I think they showed interest, Bournemouth might have showed interest. So I think Sam's got to do a bit of talking to convince him. And on that basis, I should think what Theo really wants would be a regular starting place, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because that's been the bugbear of his existence for the last couple of years at Arsenal. Yeah. But from the way Sam Allardyce was talking, if Sam gets his way, it looks like Theo is heading to Goodison, yeah.
By the way, Cardiff almost taking the lead down there. A great save from the keeper from Rolls. He smashed one left-footed. The keeper one-handed dives to his right, makes a great save. So a let-off there for Sunderland. So you're going to be heading, so transfer-wise, so Everton, Tottenham.
Yeah.
Am I hearing anyone's coming into Spurs? Not really. It's all about who could leave.
Well, again, it takes us back to how we started the show, talking about Stevie and the £800 million stadium and all that. I don't think there's been a lot of funds round for buying big. If anything, I think at the end of this season, Spurs are going to have to weigh up what their financial priorities are.
Are they going to finish top four?
Who, Spurs?
Yeah.
On ability, who's going to finish in the top four? Well, City, United, I'm just working this out. And Chelsea and Spurs,
So it's between Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs, I think.
Liverpool look as though they're a resurgent team, don't they, after getting their new centre-half, and I think tomorrow's game, the key game of the weekend, will tell us a lot about what Liverpool's second half of the season is going to be like.
It's going to be interesting.
But the great thing about Liverpool...
What about, just for Arsenal, man?
Yes.
If Arsenal miss out in the top four, they've got to win the Europa League then, haven't they? To get European football?
But they are one of the better teams in that competition at the moment.
Well, they're one of the better teams, but there's some good sides in there.
Yeah, there are, I agree. But, I thought last season, when Jose made it clear that was going to be his route into the Champions League, I thought it was far too narrow an ambition, because you've only got to screw up one game and you've lost it. But he proved you can do it if you focus on it, so maybe Arsene Wenger can as well.
OK, that's the transfer latest, with Toolstation open to all 7 days a week at toolstation.com.
Transfer window updates on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Transfer to Toolstation for a great range of trade supplies at everyday low prices, with free next business day delivery for orders over £10. Visit toolstation.com to order and find your nearest branch.
Yeah, still 0-0 down at Cardiff, but Cardiff now pressing Sunderland back big style.
Yeah.
By the way, here's another one of your neighbours texting in. Linda, have you got that on front of you?
No, what's that say?
Linda says, please keep this dual combination. Alan and my lovely Porky on air always. They're the greatest in the world. What are you doing?
No, I have nothing to do with that. But Linda, thank you very much indeed for, expressing your...
So is there any females on the horizon at the moment?
Well,
I don't see enough now to know. Is there any dating going on? Tinder not working for you?
Tinder not working, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? I don't get into these sort of things, Al, because I believe you have to separate your private life from your professional life. You know that.
I can tell. I can tell.
What can you tell?
You are billing no mates at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
There's
nice,
no spring in the old step.
No, there's a spring in the old step.
In fact, it's been a few years now.
No. You know what you're talking about, mate. I'm just very subtle and rather covert about my relationships in life, so to speak. You know what I mean?
So that means no. There's nothing. There's nothing.
Oh, no, you see, you can be rather cruel. I thought you were rather cruel the other morning.
I'm just asking, cruel when?
I think you were rather cruel the other morning to Rupert.
Why?
Because Rupert said he was going to his office in Cardiff to do something.
That's the first I've heard about an office in Cardiff.
Well, exactly.
And I think he let that slip without meaning to.
Well, he seemed to get a little bit exasperated then and said, well, why shouldn't I go to my office in Cardiff? And I have business to do.
But he's in Worcestershire. That's a long way to go to have an office. Is there something down there?
Well, no, because, look, people have offices in all sorts of places, don't they? Maybe he owns a bit of property down or something. But anyway.
No, he owns no property down there.
Rupert, of course, is a former British Army officer, and for that reason, I believe him to be a man of great credibility, and I wouldn't question him.
You've never been out one?
Sorry?
You've never been out one for a few pints and a curry?
Oh, definitely. In Cheltenham,
He changes, don't worry. In fact, he's a bit like you. He changes with a few drops.
Oh, that's very nice, isn't it? No, I don't think he does. I think he's a gentleman. So I'll take his side on this one.
So just explain now. So we finish
Yes.
up here.
Yes.
You jump on. Are you getting the Jubilee line to Wembley?
No, I prefer to go on the above ground route from Marylebone.
Why?
Well,
You're round the corner.
I know.
Waterloo, bang, Jubilee line.
The tube train.
Oh, you get pestered on the train, do you?
No, I don't get pestered on the train, but a tube train going up to Wembley on the day when there's a big match there gets incredibly packed.
No, you're worried if it get on that. There's Mike Parry.
No, I'm not.
You numpty.
No, I'm not. I haven't said that, and I don't mean that. The thing is, you go from Marylebone, it's above ground, the trains are great, they're not as crowded, and...
Oh, I know.
And it's 11 minutes.
You go in the sports bar and grill for a couple of hours at Marylebone. I know, I've got
No,
it.
not for a couple of hours, but if Dave's there, I might go and see our pal Dave. Dave owns bars, and I might say hello, you know, but that's not the reason why I go from there. It's convenience of travel. It's only 11 minutes, you know, from Marylebone, the station in London, to Wembley
I'm
Stadium.
not worried about the 11 minutes. I'm worried about an hour and a half in the bar with a third of your heart working, 2 minutes to one.
Lost in their overcoats, waiting for the sun. The sounds of the city sifting through trees settles like dust on the shoulder